Oh, smoke.
Holy cow. That's ridiculous.
Good thing I didn't throw that away.
Good morning and hello, welcome, thank you for watching. I'm Wes, this is Tom, this is the Hippie Explorer. We travel around New England living in that tent looking for gold. And we just got up, we're making breakfast.
We're still half asleep.
Still half asleep, we haven't even had coffee yet. It's brewing over there in the coffee maker, propane coffee maker. Let's have breakfast.
We're running low on honey today, so we are going to be using this Red Barn maple bourbon style maple.
Bourbon barrel aged. I've tried it, it's delicious. Probably go great in coffee, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't say I've heard of people putting it in their coffee specifically before, but I have a feeling it's pretty good in your coffee.
Yeah, it goes. I'll let you know how it is when I try it. Very nice, very nice.
So sorry for the tears and all those stormy days, for the wounds I left behind that came in reckless ways. I'm praying for redemption and healing your pain. And by the way, I hope you call my name when you're low and lonely and the night becomes your day. I hope you know I wish you'd find me too. By the way, I hope you call my name. The road we took was rocky, but the dreams remain the same. With regrets I seek forgiveness, let love be our flame. And the stars shining brightly, guiding through the rain. And by the way, I hope you call my name when you're feeling low and lonely and the night becomes your day. I hope you know I wish you'd find me too. By the way, I hope you call my name.
Nice breakfast in the woods.
I'm sure people by now have noticed that we're making all our own breakfast and all our own coffee, and a lot of it's because it's hard to get. It's not as good when you get it out, when you make it yourself. And the cost, in order to continue coming as much as we do to make as many episodes, we have to bring the cost down as low as we can.
Yeah.
And
Can't keep eating out when you're poor. We're gonna eat this, and while we're eating, we can check with the Hip Bee to find out what the weather's gonna be like, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do today.
Hey, you groovy dudes and you slap happy hippies. This is Hip Bee, and I'm here to give you the weather. Let's go! It's a groovy day, about 65 degrees, light wind, and it's gonna be groovy, baby. No rain, none of that stuff today. Now, Chico the alien is in town here somewhere. Oh, there he is over there. Hey, Chico! Bleep, bleep. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Chico, that you're in town. Yeah. Now, why did the man fall down the well? Because he couldn't see that well. He couldn't see that well. That's a good one. Toodaloo.
Thank you, Hip B, for that marvelous weather report. You couldn't see that well. Like that, Joe?
It was all right.
We've decided we got to do some cleaning up around the camp because things are a mess. We've been here for a week, and we're going to be here until the fall rendezvous. That's coming up later in a few more days. And we're going to stick around camp. We've got a bucket of concentrates from the past week. Everything went in it, from pay dirts to river concentrates, a mixed bag, a bucket, and we want to run it one more time before I get rid of it, because I don't want to lug it home, but I don't want to lose any gold either.
There'll still be gold in that.
Yeah, maybe. There should be some stuff in it, because some of the stuff we only ran one time, and it doesn't catch 100%, so. That's what we're going to do. We're going to hang around here. Also, we're going to be answering some viewer questions. We got a bunch of questions that sometimes I don't have time to answer, and they're people ask them over and over. They're multiple questions, and we're going to answer those while we run these concentrates. So let's get our stuff together. We're going to freshen up here around camp, and we're going to do that. The other one was filthy. First off, we got to make a nice iced coffee. And then I want to boil some water to clean that stove of all the grease that's on it before I set up the cleanup buddy to do my dirt. And the first question is, why do you throw away all your tailings when you're classifying? You could be throwing away gold. I hear people say that a lot. And the answer to that question is, if we don't always throw away our tailings, only when we're digging in a gravel bar. Because after 15 years of prospecting, I've only seen one nugget in a gravel bar that happened to be sitting on a bigger rock. And that made it through the classifier, because we use a 1/2-inch classifier. And we used to check our tailings with a metal detector. Never found nothing after years of doing that. Now, if I'm on bedrock and I'm cleaning out crevices, I won't even use a classifier. I will pan it all out, because you could find a nugget sitting on bedrock. In the gravel bars around here, it's very rare that you're going to find a 1/2-inch or bigger nugget. The next question is, why don't you use a metal detector on the tailings or in the gravel bars? And the answer for that is, like I said earlier, the odds of finding anything with a metal detector in a gravel bar in New England is slim to none. And most people up here in New England that use metal detectors are going to go to bedrock and use it on bedrock. And I have mine. I use mine on the bedrock, but in gravel bars here in New England, you're gonna be digging up hot rocks and other things, but very, very rare that you'll find a nugget big enough to be picked up by a metal detector, unless you have a really, really good one, or a Falcon MD20 and you're doing crevices or something like that. Here's another question for you that people ask a lot. It's about the firewood. Why are you buying firewood when you're in the woods camping? We get this question a lot. And the answer to that is twofold. Most of the woods around here are owned by logging companies, and you can't cut wood or private property. Number two is we want kiln dried wood for our wood stove in the tent, because it produces less sparks coming out the chimney, which land on the tent and burn it. We learned that the hard way. There's a big, big difference between kiln dried and regular dry wood that you would find. We could use wood in the outdoor fireplace, but like I said, I'm not going cutting wood on other people's land, so I buy it. Another question for you is, and this is one a lot of people ask, what it's like living in a tent spring through the summer and fall. Well, if it's comfortable, it's no problem, and we enjoy it. But when you're not comfortable and you can't sleep well, and you don't have a cot, and you're sleeping on the ground, and you're cold, it would be a problem. But that's not how we do it. But that's not how we do it. The next question was, do you guys ever do any fishing? And the answer to that is, we did. Years ago, we would go up to the back lake and the Connecticut River, and we did fishing up there, fly fishing and regular fishing. And that led us, when we were up there, we saw ATVs, and we said, that looks interesting. So we got an ATV and we started ATVing. Camp like ATVing, traveling around on our ATVs and the trails around in Maine mostly. And that brought us to this area up here in Maine, and we saw people gold prospecting. And we said, that looks interesting. So we sold the ATVs once we had our fill of that, and then we started gold prospecting. So, and that's where we are now. Well, along the way, we picked up beekeeping too, because that looked interesting. So we may go back to fishing at some point.
Maybe it's hard to fish and prospect at the same time.
You only got so much room for equipment too, so.
But I like the idea of fishing to catch our dinner.
Yeah. Maybe we might do that sometime. Catch and cook type of thing. A lot of people ask us where the hip bee came from. Where the hip bee came from? He came from Spain. He's a Spanish bee, right? Yeah. Yeah. Hip bee came from Spain. We found a puppet maker actually on, I think it was Etsy, the craft site. And we worked back and forth with her, sending her pictures and drawings, and she came up with some ideas, and we just worked back and forth, and the hip bee came to life.
Many people have asked us why we don't cook right over the fire. Why we cook in a pan.
Ah. And the reason for that is we don't want the rust from this stuff on our food. That's number one. And number two, this wood that we use, that we buy at the campground or down at Bob's, tastes horrible on your food. You'd need some nice hardwood if you wanted to cook over it. We find it easier to use a skillet and the food comes out better. And as you can see, a lot of the things we make, there's things mixed into it, and you can't do that on the fire.
Yeah, you can't really cook a goulash right over the fire. It would be a real mess.
We're ready to go. We've got this mixed bag of stuff, this little power pack here. Plug that in, let's see how that works. I got a level on this here, right there. And it has to go up just a hair this way. So I'm gonna put a stick under the front. Oh, look at that, it's right on the money. All right, here we go. This is on I find I like to run it on its slowest setting, and that's what this is, on its lowest setting.
You need a smaller scoop.
I know it. I wish I had a teaspoon. Want me to get a spoon? I have to use one of our spoons.
Use your coffee spoon. Not mine, your coffee spoon.
I used your coffee spoon. See, that's much better. I think I see gold in there already. Right there, see it?
Oh, I see one up under the lip there.
Huh.
Right under there.
I'm surprised. I didn't think there'd be much in here.
There should be. That's quite a mixed bag. Oh, there's a piece under there. Oh, it just got covered.
Yeah, there's a lot of different. Do you want to show the people what it looks like? It's been classified down before. It's really just like some concentrates that we ran. There's been some pay dirt tailings, sluice concentrates, everything, mixed bag. I wanted to run it at least one more time before I discarded it.
A couple nice pieces right there.
Yeah. I tipped it back a little.
Oh, there's a whole bunch. There's 4 nice pieces right there that I can see.
I gotta get rid of some of them bubbles right there. See the bubbles? I gotta get rid of the bubbles. People yell at me because I got bubbles. Ron Rogers yelled at me because I had bubbles.
Yeah.
So we're gonna suck up the bubbles. He's sluicing. Next question was, what's your advice to a new YouTuber?
Don't do it.
There you go.
I would say being consistent.
Yeah.
We make a show every Wednesday, and we're consistent about it.
What else? Is there anything else that you would recommend?
Do it because you love doing it, not because you think you're going to grow this big YouTube channel.
Good advice.
So do something you love doing.
Do you love doing that?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that.
Especially when I see gold.
Yeah, and I have seen some gold, not a ton, but there was a piece up top.
Oh,
Where?
there was quite a bit.
Up in there, I thought I saw some.
There was some.
Yeah, I see some in there.
They're all in there.
Oh.
You gotta let it clear out a little. And
Wow, all the way down. There's gold down the bottom here too. Close to the end. We may have to run this stuff more than once. I may have to save it. I thought this was going to be the last time I ran it, but
a couple nice size flakes right there. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit in there. Oh, here's another question for you that people ask. What's your favorite part of the show? Favorite part of making these movies? Prospecting, camping,
oh, I have to think about that one.
being on the road. I would say for me, it's meeting the people. We met so many great people.
You know, that's it.
I mean, everything about it's fun, but the people that we meet are just fantastic.
Yeah, you know, we've met so many amazing people, and you know, we go to events like the Rendezvous, and a lot of like coming up this weekend, and like the one in the fall, and we know so many people there now. When just 5 years ago, we didn't know anybody.
Yep. Take a look in here again. Oh yeah, look at all that gold. It's loaded in there.
Let me kill this here.
There's a ton up under there. All that right there. Wow, that's crazy actually.
I'm gonna take this right out. That's why I love this. It's easy. Just pick it up, drag it out.
Yep, they're a lot of fun.
Put it in there like that.
You got a lot of material still left inside. It goes up a little in there, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna run this whole thing again. Okay? Twice, 2 times. I was only gonna run it once, but with the gold we saw in there, a wire. Yeah. Getting a little cool, huh?
Yeah, it is actually getting cool.
He's getting down to the last of the second run. We're going to keep them separate so we can see how much we missed. And it's time for another question. And the question is, what do the bees do in the winter? People ask what the bees do in the winter.
They pretty much hibernate and cluster.
They go into a cluster inside the hive, and they eat the sugar that we leave in there for them, the honey. And they eat their honey, and we feed them pollen patties starting in December and through March. But we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna shut her down. And we're gonna pan this out first and see what's in it. That's the first run. Let's see what's in it. I see some black sand in there. Oh, there is gold. A lot more than I expected.
Yeah, I saw quite a bit in the mat.
Holy smoke.
Holy cow. That's ridiculous.
Good thing I didn't throw that away. There was a lot of stuff in there. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you don't throw your dirt away on the first runs.
Yeah, some of that dirt was run twice, but some of it was only run once. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna suck it up. We'll take this. Put it right in there.
This is the second run. The rerun.
That what you see? One piece?
No. That's all I see, the one piece we saw in the mat. Wow, that cleanup buddy works pretty good.
It's pretty good. That's why I'm wondering where that material came from. Some of it came, because it's been kicking around. Some of it was from pay dirt.
Some of it was leftovers from the meet and greet when we were dumping stuff in there. Some stuff came from the river cons, and evidently I don't think it was ever run through the, some of it wasn't run through the cleanup buddy at all, I don't think.
No, a lot of it wasn't.
This is worth saving. As you can see, the sun is low in the sky already because we've been lounging around, taking it easy. But it's time for another coffee. That's just water to melt my honey, to put in my iced coffee. Hey, voila. In here, we have some nice fresh corn I got from the Farmer Dave in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. We're gonna do some chopping and answer some more questions. Like, how come you don't get a cutting board? Now, this is a question I can answer. We had one. Scott Lyons gave us a cutting board. Not the Scott Lyons that's been making music for us. That's a different Scott Lyons. There are two Scott Lyonses, in case you haven't figured that out. He gave us one, but it broke. We used it.
That came with some crumpets, remember?
Yeah, it did. More garlic.
You can just crush each one. Just keep crushing and then scrape it.
Okay.
I'm a garlic expert here. We had another garlic press, but it bent after using it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, had no strength to it.
That one's stainless steel. That one's pretty rugged.
Of course, we were powering the ginger through it.
Yeah.
And sometimes ginger can be pretty hard. Now, people have asked, why don't you eat more seafood? I see you eat seafood. And we might have answered this before. And that's because when you're out here camping in the woods, you have to take your own garbage and bring it back home with you. And seafood smells. So we plan it. Sometimes we'll pick it up here and have it on the last night and stuff like that. We may do that this week. I don't know. Onions. All right. I'm gonna put that chicken right in there. Partially frozen. We'll break it up there. It's chicken tenders, so. Summer squash. Peppers and onions, chicken, summer squash. I've got some corn already on my plate. Tom's skipping the corn.
Plus, I need a little everything bagel.
Everything bagel seasoning. A bit of salt. You gotta butter the corn to get the full effect. How is it?
Very good. Or even that, or I'm real hungry. One of the two.
That's very good. Now, don't go away, because we have more questions. Interesting ones about Bigfoot. People used to ask me, why do you eat out for breakfast so much? Now you see why. Dishes. But we're going to be eating breakfast more around camp because it saves us a lot of money. That fire is just sitting there smoldering. Now we're gonna blast it with the secret weapon. Here we are by the fire. It's chilly tonight. It's the first real chilly night.
Yeah.
But the question, have you ever seen Bigfoot or anything strange? Well, just this week we saw a bobcat or something. It was right here. It was actually over by the table. We were pulling in, we saw it by the table, and it came and moved and went over here and stood there looking at us, and I could tell it had a short tail, and it looked like a cat. So
I don't know how strange that was.
that wasn't that strange. We saw that thing, we heard that noise, the story we told in a couple episodes ago, that a noise one night outside the tent, and I didn't know what it was. It was big. Could have been a moose, could have been a man, could have been a Bigfoot. I don't know what it was. But it reminds me of a story that was told to me recently by someone who lives up here in the woods, and he was grooming a snowmobile trail in the winter, of course, and it was snow. And he said in front of him, going across the road, the trail, was a cat, black, long tail. And he said it was probably about 6 feet from nose to tail. Went all the way across the road, he said. So we kept thinking, well, what could that have been? Because he said it looked like a panther, like a black panther. So who knows?
He's seen it all up here, so I'm sure
Yeah,
he knew it wasn't a regular creature.
Yeah, he said he's seen bobcats and he's seen fisher cats, and we went over many different. He says it was a cat, long tail.
And it was all black, right?
Yeah, and it was black. I know there was a fisher cat, not a fisher cat, but a serval cat. Two of them that were up here last year, spotted.
They don't look like that, and they can't live up here in the winter.
No, that must have been someone's pet who released them because they couldn't care for them. So I don't know. There you have it, live on the scene. And that's about it. These names you see going up the screen here, those names, we have to thank them. They're our members, and we're going to make special members-only videos just for those people because they're special. And if you'd like to be on this list, you can hit that join button. If you don't have a join button on your phone there or your device, look in the description of the video. So push the thing so you can see the description of the video, and there's a link in there. And if you still can't see any of that, you can send me an email to westperon@aol.com, and I'll send you a link so that you can join and be one of these special people and get our behind the scenes videos and the videos that we make just for members, which are a little more personal and different things, maybe similar to something like we did here today. And don't forget to check out hitbee.com. Get yourself some honey, beehive products, prospecting equipment, honey candies, honey soap, all that stuff from our bees. And that's about it. So anything else to say?
No, you said it all.
I said it all. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.